Okay, we are recording. Let's do a backup recording here too. All right, fantastic. All right, well, welcome everybody to this special call that we put together for people that we already work with who wanted to introduce to you guys, those of you that are meeting me for the first time or meeting us, what we do here for the first time, to understand the importance and power of mobile apps. And uh, because we have a smaller group of people here, I want to really invite you guys to be as interactive as you want with me in bringing in your thoughts, your ideas, your business, the things that you do, so that I can give you specific ideas about how apps can impact your business. And so I want to make sure that you're comfortable with just jumping in with the question and asking it. It's and making sure that I can address specific things that support whatever you do. So we'll probably have along the way here some people popping in as we go here, as I admit them here. But so let me just kind of start with this. The I'll start with this. Let me start with my background here and how I came into this business and doing what I do now. So I have been in the personal development expert training digital marketing world for about 20 years as an entrepreneur with different businesses. And a lot of that time in the 20 years, I would say a good 3/4 of that time has been focused on helping experts, authors, speakers, coaches, entrepreneurs helping them learn how to use digital marketing, the internet, and technology to share their message and to build the business, monetize their message, and create the lifestyle that they want. The focus of all the businesses and all the trainings and things that we've done is always revolved around making a difference in people's lives. So, pretty much everybody that we work with, everything that we do has that intention of being of really accomplishing three different things. Number one, reaching more people than what you may be doing right now, using the tools or strategies that most people use. And that's going to be one of the big things that I think is important here with mobile apps, is that it's kind of the thing that everybody's going to eventually go to, but very few businesses have, or small businesses have. So the opportunity to leverage this world is massive and wide open. And so number one is to help you reach more people. Number two, to have a greater impact in people's lives, not just because you're reaching more people, but because you're being more effective in connecting with those people on a consistent basis. And then finally, through that, reaching more people, impacting their lives, there's an opportunity to generate more income. So it's about reach, impact, and income. And that's the thing that has really drawn me into this world. The quick 2-minute version of my background is that the different businesses that I've had over the years, there were 2 businesses that I had where it was just entirely focused on digital marketing and building a community and helping them get their message out in the world. One of my companies was called the Messenger Network. And I had great success in both of those companies in building large email lists. Both of them had separately lists of over 100,000 people on the list, and we did really, really well in building that business and having the impact that we were looking for. After 10 years of doing those 2 businesses, I decided to kind of do something a little bit different, because I was personally tired of sitting in front of the computer all the time. So I created a new business in which I took those same clients, those same customers, those experts, authors, speakers, messengers, and started taking them around the world to different parts of the world, like Liberia, Africa, Ecuador, Costa Rica, New Zealand, and giving them an opportunity to speak on an international stage, to do humanitarian work, and to have an experience that would transform the way they look at life and the way they approach life. And so for 5 years, we took about 180 people around the world doing that. And that what was interesting about that, was great about that, was that, you know, it got me out from behind the computer, and I didn't have to count on or need to do digital marketing as much, because that was more word of mouth driven. So for about 5 years, I was out of that digital marketing game, but I was following it and watching it and seeing it, how it transformed from when my first business was built, you know, 20 years ago, you know, 18, 20 years ago, to what is transformed into now, the things that you have to do to reach people in this very crowded space of digital marketing. And so when I decided to come back into the digital marketing space to share my message, I started to explore alternatives to the common ways of doing things, building a list, social media, you know, all these, you know, having a website and all these things that would drive people to the website, praying that they're going to opt into your list and ultimately engage with you in some way or another. And none of that really inspired me, because the effectiveness of those things had changed so dramatically. So I sat down one day and I asked myself a couple questions in order to really figure out, where am I going to go and how am I going to do this new idea that I had in the digital marketing space? I asked myself 2 questions. Number 1, where are people spending their time, and where are they engaging the most? And ironically, I was actually typing out those questions in my notes app on my phone. And I followed it up with the follow-up questions. Where am I spending my time, and where am I engaging the most? It was in that moment that I realized, well, I'm doing it right now. I'm on my phone. And this is where, you know, a lot of my interactions, a lot of my touch goes, checking emails, you know, websites, the occasional, when I do social media, which I'm not a big social media fan, but, you know, that's where I was doing it. I was doing it on there. And yes, I still used a computer, but most of my time was spent here. So I was curious about mobile apps, because as a business wanting to figure out how to get my business out here, thinking about using a phone, I realized, well, it's got to sit in this app, these apps, these things that I download and other people download, and as consumers, we're very familiar with for many years now. So I started to research mobile apps as a way of me sharing my message, reaching more people, having a greater impact, and generating more income. And so I did research on stats. How does mobile app marketing and having an app compare to having a website? How does it compare to marketing using an email list, social media, all these things? And in a very short period of time of that research, I was blown away. I discovered that this world is equivalent to how it used to be 18 years ago. What I mean by that is that the way you can connect with people and the stats or the numbers of connection when you do communicate with them through a mobile app compared to anything else is astronomically different. And in that moment, I realized this is where I need to spend my time. And so there's a few things that I want to show you here. I want to show you a couple things that I thought that really stood out for me. So let me go to this, and I'm gonna pop back to some of these screens here. First, what I discovered is that with a mobile app, and you know, back in the day when I built my 2 companies that had email list over 100,000 people, that was a significant accomplishment, and wasn't easy. But it resulted in great success for those companies. But in the mobile app world, building a list or an outreach of 100,000 or more people is actually really small potatoes. The ability for an app to blow up and reach people and be shared with people in ways that in ways that other people that you can't do in other ways is amazing. So I knew that with an app and doing it the proper way, I could build a larger reach than I've ever imagined before. And the reason being is because right now, as it stands, there are 4+ billion smartphones in the world that run mobile apps. There are two platforms. There's iPhone and there's Android, Apple and Android. And for those of you that have Apple devices, this might seem a little odd, but in the world share of phones and the way they split out, and Android has a 70% market share of phones in the world, where Apple and iPhone has a 30% share. And that's mainly because Android is a open source software program that hundreds of phone makers use, and iPhone is one phone, one operating system, and it falls just under that. So 4+ billion phones in the world, and I thought about that. I'm like, this is really interesting, because here's a great example of how phones reach people, or the scope of these phones. When I did my trips to Liberia, Africa, and if you don't know that much about Liberia used to be one of the most thriving, most successful African countries. Then they had a civil war and unrest, and it just decimated the country, just decimated them. It was one of the worst civil wars in history. And so when we went to Liberia, this is post-Civil War, probably a decade or two afterwards, it was a country that was still struggling. So we would go into Liberia, and we would, bring, messages and do work there. But one of the things that we would do, and one of the problems that Liberia has at the outer reaches of the country, or the villages of the country, is that their water is killing people. They don't have clean water. And it's just, mind-blowing to think about water being an issue when we don't have that problem here. And so what we would do is we bring these water filtration systems to these villages, show them how to use it, and literally save lives, because we would set them up with these filtration systems that would last years, and they wouldn't be, poisoned anymore as a result of the water. So when we would go into these outer reaches of Liberia, we would go into the town center. And what we find out is in the town center, they would have 1 or 2 computers that all the villages and all the people around that town would be able to use, that would be connected to the internet. That's it. No computers really anywhere else, unless someone had the means in order to have the computer, but most people access those 2 computers. Then we would go out to the actual villages, or the villages, to deliver the water filtration systems. And I found it incredibly fascinating that we would have a lot of people, and most people coming up to us in those villages.
You have things $30.
Oh, hold on.
Sorry.
That's all right. We would go into those villages, and we would have people come up to us with their smartphones asking for our Facebook profile, our Facebook link. So what I discovered in understanding that, there are 4+ billion phones in the world, what that means is that phones have access to people that don't have access to computers. It is a completely different world. It's the fastest growing technology in the history of technology ever. And so, that was very interesting, because I knew that the trend was only going to go up, and it was and it was going to allow us to have bigger engagement and reach more people. So the number one thing that decided for me to get into the app space was that I would have a bigger reach and the opportunity to engage with people in more ways. And it really kind of boils down to this. When you have more engagement, when you can reach more people, and they are doing 2 things. One, accessing your app and your content, where they wouldn't be normally doing that on your website. But the second most important thing, the thing that really makes that engagement effective, is that now that they're on your phone, now that you're on their phone with your app, you have real estate on their phone, basically, and you have access to them whenever. And so the accessibility to people to learn and to digest your content and to access the things that you want to share, there's no better platform to do that on, because it's right there at their fingertips. And so the way that you get people to, once they've downloaded your app, to then know what's going on in your app, to then click and go in and access the things that are going on in your app, to engage with your content, and ultimately to engage in your programs, products, events, and that sort of thing, is using one of the primary marketing tools of apps is push notifications. And this is the thing that really grabbed my attention. It was probably the most significant factor in me moving into the app space. And let me explain that. What I want to do is I want to explain the 3 different stats around email marketing versus push notification marketing. Now, if you don't know what push notification is, those are those little messages that pop up on your phone, either when your phone is closed or when it's open. And when you touch on those notifications, it opens up the app and it takes you to wherever that notification wants to take you inside the app. So this is really where things are significantly different. First, we're going to look at 3 different things here. We're going to look at opt-ins, opens, and clicks. So opt-ins meaning people have to get on your list first. They have to agree to get on your list first. So opting in on your website or whatever that you offer online, they have to go there. They got to put in their name. They got to put in their email address. And then they know in doing so, whether they're getting something for free, you're giving them something, or they're just opting into your newsletter or program or whatever, they're joining your list. Everybody knows that now. And back 20 years ago, when we did our email marketing, we would get in the range of about, I would say, between 25 to 30% of people that landed on our webpage would actually opt into our list. Today, the average, these are actual stats that are taken in the education training mark, 5% of people who land on your website are presented with an opportunity to join your list will actually join your list. So that means 100 people land on your website and you put something in front of them that says, hey, would you like to get this, or would you like to learn more about this? 5 out of 100 will actually do that. Now, in the push notification world, the way opting in works is that they download your app. So it's like them going to your website. And when they open your app for the first time on iPhone, it presents them with the message that says, would you like to receive notifications from this app? And on the Android side of things, most phones automatically opt them in and then they have to opt out themselves. So this is what the numbers look like for opting in on push notification. 55 to 80% of people who open your app, either whether it's automatic or whether they accept and say, yes, I want to receive notifications, will opt into your push notification list. So if I send 100 people to download my app, 50 to 80 of them, 55 to 80 of them will actually join my push notification list. Now, I don't have at this point, I don't have their name. I don't have their email address. They're not going to be sent, email marketing blast or anything like that. It is just simply them saying, yes, I don't mind receiving a message that tells me about what's going on inside the app. Okay. So then that brings us to the next. Now that they're on your list and you send them either an email or you send them a push notification, how many of those people are actually going to open it? Well, in the email world, 23% on average will open the email. So if I send out an email to 100 people, 23 on average will open that email and read it. The challenge with email for most marketers is that they write long emails. So they write multi-paragraph, and PETA has been in my world for a while now, and she's seen my emails. They're not short. I can't keep them short. I don't know what the deal is. And just because we're trying to convince them to do something or update them on something, there are better ways of doing that now. And so when you send out a push notification, it's a call to action. It's not a long multi-paragraph message that they have to read. It's a call to action that basically says, hey, check this out. This is what we've just added. This is what we want to invite you to do. And so when a push notification goes out, because of how short it is, and because of the accessibility that it has to people and the engagement people have on their phone, 90% open that or see that notification, see it, read it, and they're making a decision on whether or not to click. And then that's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to get them to click. That is engagement. If you send them an email and you want them to click in that link in that email to go and check this out, that's engagement. That's the step towards getting them to participate in your world in some way. And so the reality of when that email is sent out is that 3% will actually click on an email nowadays. They get it, they read it, and then they decide to click on it. One, they either have to pull it up on their phone and then click, or on their computer. And it's not the same as just getting a regular notification. So long emails and too many, and the fact that everybody seems to be on everybody's list is a huge factor here. So then how does that then ultimately translate over into push notification marketing? 25 to 40%. Now, the websites, the stats say 40%. Our experience over the last 3 years have seen that we see a 25 to 40% click rate within the first hour that notification is sent, because it's short call to actions, it's easy access. There's that accessibility factor here, and it sends them right into the app. They don't have to do anything else. It takes them where you want to go. So if our ultimate goal is engagement, then let's look at, based off of those stats, let's look at the difference here. A 10,000 person email list will generate 115 clicks based off of those stats. Now, rather than going apples to apples and say, well, let's do 10,000 people on my push list, let's just do 10% of that. 1,000 people on a push list will actually generate almost double the engagement at the 25% click rate, not the 40% click rate, the 25% click rate. So what you see, if ultimately in your business is you want to reach people and educate them and get them plugged into your world, or sell products, programs, events, or whatever, the goal is engagement. And with push notification marketing with an app, you get a 200% better engagement. So when being an email marketer for as many years as I did, and generating millions of dollars in my business because of that, I knew that this was going to change the game for me. So I sat down, I architected out the exact app that I wanted built. I was excited about it. I knew I wanted to have all these different features in it, that where I could share content and, have membership and do other unique things. And I said, man, if I have to spend $5,000 or $10,000 to build this app, it would be totally worth it, because I know I can get my money back pretty quickly. Well, I sent it out to 5 app developers, and I got the quotes back. And then I found out why this world that we're in, the expert small business entrepreneur space, why we're not using mobile apps at the potential that we can. Because the quotes came back from $70,000 to $130,000 to build that app. And that was like, okay, I don't have that. I don't have access to that kind of money. I'm a small business solopreneur. But instead of being defeated by that, I saw it as an opportunity. I said, what if I could create a path for this industry of people that want to share messages and have an impact on their lives as small business solopreneurs, entrepreneurs? What if I could create a way for them to have an app without it costing tens of thousands of dollars, without it compromising the features and the effectiveness of the app? And so that's when I started to explore building an app in partnership with someone else that would make that possible. And that someone else happened to be my brother, who is an app developer, was an app developer at the time for a big corporation in San Francisco, getting paid a lot of money to do that. So I rolled the dice and I went to him. I said, hey, can we do this? I want to build this thing to where we can make it available for other people to be able to use without it costing a lot of money. And he says, yeah, I think we could probably do that. And I said, great, quit your job and let's go into business together. And luckily, he was unhappy in his job. I know that's a weird thing to say. He was unhappy in his job. He thought about it. He quit the job 4 years ago. Him and I took 6 months to a year to build the two different platforms that we have. And that's what we end up doing. But when we were building the platforms, we were looking to also accomplish some other things here. Not only did we want to save people a lot of money on having this platform without compromising the features, but we also wanted to make sure what we built would actually save them a lot of money that they're spending right now. So online, most small businesses and entrepreneurs are spending hundreds of dollars every single month to have different services all over the place. Over here, I have my email management system. Over here, I have my funnel software. Over here, I have my e-course system. Over here, I have my membership technology and my websites here, all of that. And what ends up happening is they spend hundreds of dollars every single month. So what we said is that whatever we do, we want to, one, replace a lot of those technologies, most of those technologies, have it all built in, the whole kitchen sink thrown into this app, and not have them cost that hundreds of dollars every month. Not basically say, hey, we'll do it all over here, but whatever the $300 you're spending over here, you have to spend over here. We said, no, we want to make sure that that $300 they spend over there, they're not having to spend it all over here. So, so we built the app and the technology to replace e-learning, e-course software, funnel software, a lot of the expensive CRMs that people use, membership technologies, and very expensive dynamic websites. And then going back to this, we also wanted to make sure that we kept it simple. Now, going kind of back to previous here, I want to give you just a little bit of information about apps that are really important, because there it is. Okay. So here's what I call mobile apps 101, so that you understand very important factors about mobile apps, because you can find apps out there that you can get relatively inexpensively, but there's problems with those, and they're a waste of time and they're a waste of money. So first, there are two different types of apps when the apps are launched. There's static apps, there's dynamic apps. What that means is a static app is an app that's launched on the App Store. When you open it up, the content's in there. It doesn't change. It's like a website or a brochure, and then that's it. A dynamic app, when you open up the app, it pulls data from a database, pulls it into the app, usually pretty quickly and instantaneously, so that when you go from one screen to the next, it's accessing the newest information that's in the app. So if I wanted to add something new to the app, I could do it, and it'd be available 2 seconds later inside of the app for someone to access. So the challenge with the static app is someone opens it up 1 or 2 times and then they don't open it again. You don't get that regular engagement. You don't have that opportunity to touch, teach, and impact people's lives multiple times to the point where they go, I love what this person's doing. They're totally serving me and I want more. And that's ultimately the path. That's the marketing path to get people to become your clients. And also, just providing updated information and content, you want to be able to provide that and put it at their fingertips. The other type of apps that are out there are template apps, platform apps, and custom apps. So the quote that I got for that 70 to 130,000, that was a custom app because I had architected out. I said, this is what I want. And they said, well, we can do that. It'll take about 6 months to build and it'll cost this much money. That's the problem with custom apps. It's ideal, of course. Hey, let's design our own app and let's put it out there, but you got to expect to spend a lot of money and for it to take a lot of time. Whereas a template app is an app, and these are usually cheap apps, and cheap from 2 different perspectives. 1, in functionality and what it's able to do, and 2, in cost, are usually driven by software. So you log in, you sign up for it, you pay $100 a month or whatever, you log in, and you have software and you have to build your app by dragging and dropping, which, you know, is great for websites, not great for apps. Drag and drop the things over. I want this headline here, this video here, and you're ultimately having to build your app. The problem with this is that it's not like a website where you could just change these things whenever you want. These are software programs that are installed on computers, which are your phones, and two different computers, either iPhone or Android phones. So they're software. They're not websites. It's not like you can just build it, drag it, change it, and move it along. So it doesn't work nearly as well. The other challenge is that you have to get approval of your app and the content in your app initially when you launch it with Apple and Android. They basically decide whether or not your app can go on the App Store or not, based off of the rules that they've established. And Apple has some pretty strict rules. So a lot of the times they will reject template-based apps because either they're not complete, they don't give the users a unique experience, which is something that Apple looks for, and ultimately they get rejected and you have to go back to the drawing board. So template apps are not good. Even though they might be cheaper, they just don't work. And that's, you ultimately want something to work. A platform app is like what we built, our expert app platform. What that means is it's a custom built app, but it has all the features already built into it, already ready to go. And what we do, and it's a dynamic app, no one has to build it. Your customer doesn't have to build it. All we have to do is put your brand wrapper around it, your logo, your color scheme, put it around the actual platform, build the file like we would do a custom app, and then launch it on the app stores. We don't have issues with Apple and Android. And because of the features and the user experience and the flow and the functionality of it, and it works really great. And the fact is, you can get it approved on Apple, and then once it's approved on Apple and Android, then since your app is connected to a database, you can add content to it whenever you want from there, and even if it's something that Apple may normally not like. So that's important. The other thing that's also important is whether or not you have a combined database where you have hundreds of apps that are using the same database or separate databases. And the reason why that's important is because if you're with a company that running a template app, even if it has a database that's connected to it, and they got hundreds of apps that are running off of that, if that company ever went out of business, every single one of those apps would be useless. They would break. They would become what is known as bricks in the app world. So that's not good because there's no way to separate those clients or those data out into separate databases for people to keep running with it. Whereas if you have separate databases, it's not difficult to then transfer the ownership of that database over to that owner, and then basically they have their app that can continue to run from there on out. So I thought those were pretty important things to mention there about mobile apps. So what I want to do at this point is I want to show you our expert app platform, what we built, why we built it the way we did, and then give you and tell you about something that we're doing this week and next week and throughout the until the end of the year that might be of interest to you. But before I do that, does anybody have any questions about any of the information that I've shared so far? Any questions? Okay, great. So I know we got.
Sorry,
yes.
Robert, I do.
Yes. Yeah.
So this might be a little bit off topic, but hopefully intertwined. Do you see some of the social media stuff going away, or do you see more that people are going to shift to these apps because they're not having an effective runway on social media?
I don't see social media going away. I see the strategy changing to where social media is not the be all end all place that you get people to engage with you, but it becomes kind of a conduit to the heart or the hub of a business like your app, where you post something on social media and you're mentioning, hey, this is a new video or a new article that we've added to our app. Go here to download it and that sort of thing. So you start to use marketing strategies like social media, like even email marketing, like webinars and all these other info documents, all these other things that you can do as ways of getting people to download the app and access your whole world. Social media is just a very small piece of your world. And unfortunately, it's social media is, I think one of the biggest challenges of social media is how distracting it is.
Mm-hmm.
So someone comes and opens up your page and then all of a sudden they go, I wonder what's going on with all my friends. And then they're off on another tangent and they're away from you.
Yeah,
So,
and it seems like, because I've had some experience with Facebook and Instagram, it seems like unless you have the exact formula, and I'm not sure what that is, you're not
yeah.
really growing an audience.
No, and they did that on purpose. In the early days of Facebook, when it used to be awesome as a marketing tool, you could build a very large presence, a large community of people, hundreds of thousands of people,
Mm-hmm.
and post something, and most of those people would actually see it. Facebook said, well, wait a second, why are we doing that when we could charge money for them to have access to their community? And so Facebook and Instagram, because it's Facebook too,
Mm-hmm.
started doing in order to, you got to pay to get this value. So I read a story not long ago about someone who built up a 700,000 person group on Facebook, and they were just killing it in the early days, sending out stuff and getting people engaged in their work and that sort of thing. And then that was their one and only platform because they were doing so well with Facebook. That was their one and only platform, making them a lot of money. Facebook then changed the whole algorithm. And so now when they posted something, instead of it going out to hundreds of thousands of that 700,000 people, it actually only went out to a few thousand people.
Oh
And
my.
in order for them to actually reach those other people that they built in their community,
Mm-hmm.
they had to pay to make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of Facebook. I'll be quite honest with you. I don't like
me,
the way
me
they
either.
yeah.
I've
And that's
switched
actually becoming more and more true for a lot of people.
Yeah,
So Robert,
to TikTok.
Yeah.
Robert.
Yeah.
So this is Brett Scudder. So I've been listening to everything that you're saying, and so here's where my predicament comes in. So I'm with you. I see social media has created more problems than it has created solutions. I see more people have actually social media has really dumbed down a lot of, especially this last election has really proven how easily people can be swayed in so many ways by social media and the influence of mobile technology. But here's where it presents a conundrum for me right now. So I'm in the mental health field, and a lot of my work is around behavioral health. Depression and suicide are driven a lot by social media and the infusion of technology in our world right now, right?
Yeah.
So they just came out with research that says Instagram is one of the driving factors of depression, especially among young women and a lot of our females. Instagram, because of this whole idea of this looks, right, and this whole personal and this whole fictitious look of everything. So my work is being influenced a lot by the social media and technology, but I would like to use a mobile app to create a social network for my clientele of people who are needing motivation, inspiration.
Yeah.
We're opening up a wellness center. In our wellness center, we want to be able to connect with our clients through this app that we can let them know of, the schedules for the days, so it's both the pros and cons for us. But I do hear, and I'm hearing a lot more of people realizing that social media and mobile devices are really creating a lot of the challenges and conflicts that we're seeing. The increase in mental health challenges for people, anxiety and depression increases as well. So how can you help us with our organization develop an app that we can be specific to our clientele of people with mental health challenges for it to be a safe healthy, uplifting place for them and
Yeah.
allow us to engage with them in that way.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I see that too, and that's one of the reasons why I stay off of it, and a lot of the people that I know stay off of it, 100%. This, to me, the solution is there's the kind of the step one solution, and then there's the step two solution that basically could eliminate entirely that social media dependency and place that people can go to connect with each other and that sort of thing. So number one is that an app, the kind of app that you would want for your business anyways, especially Brett, for what you do, is a place that people can go. It is a community that they can go to get all the support and all the need that the things that they need to work with tools and coaches and information and motivation and inspiration and all the things that will help uplift them right there inside the app without ever having to leave the app.
Right.
So from a informational access standpoint, the app does it 100%. Now, to replace social media entirely, like Facebook, Instagram, and that sort of thing, at least for your clients, at least to give them the option to not have to go over here to interact with the community, is nowadays there are technologies out there that pretty much replicate or even provide a better environment, better functionality, better features than Facebook and Instagram. Brett, I got to introduce you to a person that I've known for the last 20 years. His name is Trevor Thomas. He created an online community that crushes Facebook's functionality and all the things that it does. It is so impressive that I think it's probably exactly what you'd be looking for from an online perspective. And go ahead.
So we created, with the same platform setting like Facebook, we created a community like that. What I'm missing is the mobile app piece, because when you have everything in an app, it makes it easier for people, right? I want the person to open the app, and I want them to say, okay, now I'm in the app. I want to connect with either a group or a provider or a coach. I want them to see the schedule for our wellness center and say, I want to schedule, you know what I'm saying? I want them to be within the app rather than them coming into some kind of a network setting that has all these different pieces to it. A one click in the app would be easier than them trying to navigate through this network of different modules. You get what I'm saying?
Totally get what you're saying. So why don't I show that to you right now? And then I'll address it, specifically for you, which I think could probably applies to a lot of people on the call here. All right. So what I'm doing now is I'm sharing my screen on my phone, and I'm going to show you. Let me turn off my notifications there. I'm going to show you some different apps that run off of our platform. So first off, I'm going to scroll over here to a couple of the screens over here. This screen, for example, are all client apps that run off of our platform. Where the app is completely branded to them. It's individual to them. There's no other mixture with any other companies. It's their app running off of our platform. So here's an app that runs a yoga information called the 8 Limbs of Yoga. Here's another app that one of our clients use, Christine Howard, where this is where she pretty much shares her entire world, all of her content, empowerment, videos, articles, all that sort of thing. And I'm going to show you all the functionality of it, but I wanted to mainly just show this to you from a branding perspective. Here's an app for a networking company called JV Insider Circle. And so it's their brand specific to them, but it's running off of our platform. So over here, and then we've the bottom 3 rows here, except for the Instagram icon there. These are all apps that we've launched or are launching currently. But this app right here, this is our best example of how an app runs off of our platform. It's called and you can download this app off the App Store, called the Expert Marketing app. So to Brett, to address what you're talking about and to, also share with everybody else, our platform has, I would say, 5 major functionalities to it that make it how great it is. Number one is that the app can be used to share any kind of content that you would normally share. So everything from videos to articles to journal lessons, which, Brett, would be really powerful for your audience, to present them with journals that they can answer to kind of help them understand how they're feeling and what they're going through and that sort of thing. And even be able to take those journal answers and turn around and share them with a coach or with someone that can help them with that. Resources, you name it, any type of content that you would share online, audio files, podcasts, can be shared inside the app. Now, the way you share that content is that you create topics or categories. So right here, these are all custom categories that we created for our app here. Most of these are not available to everybody. A lot of them are available to only specific groups of people. But since it's my phone, I have them all unlocked and available for me in here. So when they select on it, then they go over here and they select on videos. They get the list of videos that goes with that particular topic. And then they basically get to open it up and they can play the video right there in the app. It's all happening inside the app, all this content. Then the second feature of the app is it's a membership technology built into it. So what that means is that all the content and everything that is in here is defined by tags that you give it. So if it has no tag, then anybody that downloads the app will see that content, see that topic. So if the topic has no tag, they'll see that topic, they'll see the content that's in it. Or I could have a topic and then click on the list of videos and basically could have some that are tagged to some people and some that are not tagged at all for everybody to see. The second kind of tag is a free tag, which allows anybody that becomes a free member, because it's a membership technology, and they can join your app and sign up for it and get access to all these programs and that sort of thing in the app. And when they join the app, they become a free member, and then they get the free content unlocked that has the free tag to it. Then from there, the tags are really up to you. It's customizable all the way down to an individual person. So let's say, for example, in PETA working with our company, if I came across an article or video that I thought would be relevant to what PETA is doing in her work, I could actually throw that into the app, send PETA a text message or a push notification saying, PETA, I added a video just for you to the app, open it up and go to either the featured video or the topic, and then she could open it up and see that video, and then no one else sees it. If I work with a group of people, let's say young adults or women or men, I could actually tag content out that's just specific to them. So I could have a tag that's men only, women only, teens, teen girls, teen boys, or whatever, to give them specific information that that would be helpful to them. Oops, sorry. And so the tagging allows you to deliver whatever content in whatever way that you want. But you can also, this is where it becomes really, really powerful for what you were talking about. You can also create external links to specific web pages. But when they click on, so these 4 links right here, these 4 things are all links to web pages. But the difference is when they click on, let me click on one of these links here.
But Robert, while you're doing that, is this your app, or is this an app that would be customized with our company logo and name and everything on it? Is this your app, your platform, or will
it's our platform? And it's our platform that would be customized and branded to your business. So you would have your own individual app that runs off the same exact platform.
Okay, so you're the backend hosting the app for us.
We're basically taking this app right here. The last time we got a build quote on it is a $200,000 app build, and we basically give you an unlimited lifetime license to use this platform under your brand to have your own app.
At what cost?
I'll get to that. Let me kind of finish a couple of the other things here. When you click on the link here, it opens up what's called the web view. It doesn't leave the app, but it goes to the web page. And then when they're done, they click done, and then it goes right back into the app. So Brett, in your particular case, if you wanted to actually link certain aspects of this app to places where people can interact with each other online, you can do that, but it's like it's happening inside the app, but it's actually happening online. And that's something I can actually show you more details on. The third major feature of the app is our e-learning system. What we did is we built a complete, complete all-in-one inside the app e-course technology, to where you can create multi-module, multi-lesson e-courses that delivers content and even drips it out. Your courses can have lessons that can have videos in them, articles or audio files, journal lessons. This is where they actually type in their answers to specific questions to keep it personal to them. And then you can have a Q&A section where you can answer commonly asked questions, or a resources section where you can give them resources that relate to that particular lesson. So you can actually have your app be a e-learning library of content. Sorry about that, everybody. An e-learning library of content that where you can create as many courses as you want. So Brett, let's just take, I hope you don't mind me using you as an example here, but let's say you went out there and you found an expert that could build a course of content on how to deal with anxiety, for example. You can create an anxiety course that would be available in the app right there at people's fingertips, and that people can sign up for free, or they can pay to get that, and ultimately go through a whole process of how to deal with anxiety. So things like that the e-course system is able to do. And I'm about to get to the actual cost and the details of it, so I just want to show a couple other things in here. You could also, if you do social media, you could still sync up your Facebook post with your app. So if you post something on your Facebook group, it'll actually post right into your automatically inside your app. So instead of people having to go to Facebook, they can open it up and see everything that you're posting in Facebook right here inside your app. And then one of the other features is a gallery section where you can put images in here and uplifting positive memes. And you can even use the gallery as an ebook reader. So you can actually put an ebook in here, or documents or information, and people can scroll through here and read the book. You can have the book be full screen or whatever. So that the app also does that. It has an event calendar. So Brett, this also was related to you. We don't have any actually events in here right now, but you can do online or in-person calendar of events that are happening, can be listed here in the app. You can do special offers. And then finally, there's a section in here called the Track System. And this is a tracking technology that does 5 things. Number one, if you want to give someone access to a particular topic or a particular content in here, let's say, for example, it's, stress management for men or stress management for women or whatever, you give them an unlock code that they input into the app that unlocks that content and gives them that tag. So that's how you actually deliver content through the app, is by giving them codes that they unlock. You can also give them a code that enrolls them in a course. You can also create special offer codes where they input that code and it goes to a special offer page. And then the other thing that it does is it has this tracking system where you can actually take physical or digital books and then turn them into trackable, shareable books. What that means, either a physical book or an ebook, is that each book whether it's a PDF file or a physical book, has a tracking number that is associated with it. And a person gets that book, they read it. In the book, it tells them download the app. And if they want, you can have them download the app and get access to content that relates to the book. But download the app. And then if they input the tracking number, it'll pull up the history of where that book has been before them, if it was handed to them, and where it will go once they pass it along to someone new. And then there's an actual option for people that are passing this book from one person to the next to actually connect with each other, to send each other messages, to be able to create these mini communities based off of the books or based off of the cards that are inspiring people to, appreciate and acknowledge and give gratitude to other people. So like this card here is our gratitude card. So what this is, it's a viral marketing tool for you, but it's also a very unique community building tool and a trackable and shareable concept, like a pay it forward concept that people love. And this is something that we started 18 years ago that has been a huge success for us.
Robert, I would love to continue this conversation with you, but I gotta go. Okay.
Okay, Brett. I'll get your information for PETA. I'll reach out to you, and I want to show you a number of other things so that we can talk. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, and thank you, PETA Gay, for putting this together, inviting me to this. Okay.
You're welcome, Brett. Talk to you soon.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Excuse me, I've got a question here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Donna.
My name is Donna, and how would this relate to me as I am in network marketing?
Well, there are a lot of ways that network marketers could use this. You can use it as a tool to educate people on whatever it is that the company that you work with does, to have links to the products, to the sales pages, to the information. But it can also be, especially for network marketers, it could be a training tool for your downline, upline, or whatever. So you can actually load content in here that helps your downline be more effective, whether it's inspirational personal development content or training content on how to do certain things. So like here's one idea for you, Donna. The app has the capability of embedding live training videos into it using Zoom. So like right now we're on Zoom. We could take this Zoom call and we can embed it into my app right now. And the live presentation that I'm doing right now would be available live to watch inside the app. So you could, as a network marketer, if you provide any support to your downline, you can basically do weekly live trainings that they access through the app. By you just going on a Zoom, you doing a teaching on how to do this and how to have this conversation or whatever. You send everybody a push notification saying we're going live in 5 minutes, click here, it opens up the app, and then they can watch the live presentation right there. So okay. A training tool, a marketing tool, and a lead generating tool is perfect for network marketers.
Okay. How would you generate leads from this though? I'm sorry.
That's right. No, I mean, here's one really awesome way to generate leads is to put together a track-a-book that talks about whatever it is that the company does. Donnie, do you mind me asking me what product or service does the company do?
Well, we're in travel.
Okay, travel.
Right.
And you provide travel services?
Yes, we provide travel services. We're just like a regular travel agency, except it's online. So okay. You can be a customer or a client, or right. You can become a franchise.
Gotcha.
Buy into the online travel agency.
Right. Okay. So here's one idea is that you could write a small ebook that is not long in length. It's the shorter, the actual better, that could talk about, let's say it could be 10 ways to travel inexpensively, right? 10 ways to travel on a budget. And essentially that ebook would be shared with people, and it may be a trackable book. So they get it, they read it, And then in the actual book, you go open up the app and input this code, and we'll give you our weekly specials on trips to Costa Rica or to whatever. There's a lot of different strategies there. But then when they're done reading it, they're asked in the book, when you're done reading this, forward this on to anybody else that you think would want to learn how to travel, on a budget. And then they forward that on to someone else. Those people read it. They download the app. They open it up. And every time someone downloads your app and they open it up, 70 to 80% of those people are going to be joining your push notification list. That's a lead right there.
Right. Okay.
So the tracker books and the tracker cards are viral marketing tools that are designed to drive traffic to your app to generate leads so that you can tell them what you do and how you do it, that type of thing.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So there are a lot of other features the app does that I'm not going to get into right now. The one big feature that is just been added to it that will be coming out in our January update, new version of the app is the app has the capability now of running virtual summits inside of it. So anybody done in a virtual summit before? Series of interviews with people. It's a really effective marketing strategy to generate leads and build a list by interviewing or having people speak on topics, and then they all share all of those topics together. Well, we built a module for the app where you can run your own app virtual summits without having to use web pages or anything like that. It's completely entirely self-contained inside the app. So a really, really awesome way of actually delivering content and building a list. So those are, those are a lot of the features that the Expert app offers. If you put your name and your email address in the chat, I will email you a info document that has all the features and all the stuff that is available that our platform does, so that you can take a look at it and maybe understand it even more. But if you put that in the chat, I'll be happy to send that information to you. Anybody have any questions before I tell you guys what our program is, our special is on this? Okay, you guys want to know, huh? You guys, all right, what does this cost? Robert said $70,000 to $100,000. You're like the sticker shock moment here. Well, good news, it's not. So we're the only app company that has built a platform like this that only charges a one-time licensing fee with no monthly cost. All of our competitors charge $4,000 or $5,000 to build the app, and then about $300 to $500 a month to maintain the app and the database and all of that. We built our app so that there are no monthly costs that are associated with it. Our licensing fee is a one-time licensing fee, and other than that fee, the only other cost that you have is you have to have your own Apple developer account, because you want your app in your own account just in case my business goes out of business, your app won't disappear. That's $99 a year. You need your own Google Play account for your Android app. That's $25 a year. And then every year after the first year, we charge a $199 maintenance fee, because each year we have to recertify and make sure your app is compliant with operating systems and that sort of thing each year. So our only cost from us is once a year, $199. The licensing fee is discounted from $49.95 normally to $39.95 now. That is good till the end of the year. So it's $1,000 off. The other thing that we're doing is that we make a 3-payment, a 6-payment, or a 12-month payment plan. If you want to do 3 payments, it's 3 payments of $13.95. And then the 6, I think the 12 payment is $1,000 down, and then $349 a month. With the app package, you get weekly support, weekly training, access to a video library on how to market, how to build e-courses, how to create different things in your business. and you get bonuses that come with it. The bonuses are you get the app, the virtual summit module, which normally costs an extra $1,000. That's included in this package. You get a spot on our speaking tour so that we can market and promote you, have you do a talk on your message, and then we include you in one of our apps. It's called the Expert Insights app, and you get there so that we promote you. And you also will be invited to be a part of a documentary series and app book series that we're doing called the Awaken series, and where we interview about what is it that you do that awakens people in their life, in whatever area of their life. And then you write a chapter for one of our tracker books, and there's a whole package of stuff that comes with that. So basically right now, the special that we're doing for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and the end of the year is has about $2,500 worth of marketing bonuses that are included in it. But that's the cost of our app. It's just under $4,000 right now, and you split it into payments, and it's a $200,000 app technology, and there's no joke on that. That's not marketing fluff. That's a legit number that we got quotes from other people on. So, does anybody have any questions? All right.
I do.
Yes.
This is Candace. I'm just wondering, if someone was to move forward with the app, how long does it take to build out the app? And I'm asking because I know Dale, and I know he's spent a lot of time building out his app. So I'm just wondering if you have kind of a ballpark in terms of time per day, time per week that someone would need to build it out. Right.
Great question. Thank you for that question. So the launch of your app is a done for you launch, meaning that we do all the design, we do all the content loading for you. We do the submission to the app stores. You don't have to deal with Apple and Android or any of that sort of thing. Your job is to just, work with our designers to come up with the logo and the design for your app, and then to gather the minimum amount of content that is needed in order for us to launch it and get it approved by Apple and Android. So the fastest that we've launched an app, because someone had the content ready to go and they got it to us right away, was a week. The average is about a month. What we're doing right now is that we're launching all new apps, all new clients, either end of December or into early January, under our brand new platform. We've got a new version of the app. It's called the Expert App 7.0 version, because we're on 6.0 now. And so you'll get the brand new version, 6.0 version, with all the new features and improvements and that sort of thing. So I would say, I don't know, Candace, if this works to your schedule here, but if you you signed up and you spent the first few weeks of December pulling together the content and the information that is needed and working with our team, that you can launch your app easily in early January or late December.
Cool. And then my next question is, with regards to videos, I understand they have to be in YouTube format, but do you know how easy it is to convert or upload a Zoom video to YouTube?
Yeah. So right now, if you look on the Zoom call, it says live at the top left corner, live on YouTube.
Yep.
This thing is literally being loaded up to YouTube real time. So when I hit end at the end of this Zoom call, it's in YouTube. I don't have to download it and upload it. It's done.
And that's a special feature from YouTube?
It is a special feature that YouTube and Zoom have put together. It's for any Zoom account that's a paid account, $12 a month and above. You can go live on YouTube. Now, you can even go further with this. You could actually go live on YouTube and add the video to your app before you go. When you go live, so that not only do you go live on YouTube and it's available on YouTube instantaneously, but it's also available in your app instantaneously. No even having to add it to the app at that point.
Beauty, exciting.
I know, isn't that great?
Thank you. It is great because I've spent a lot of time creating videos and doing all kinds of stuff to get them onto YouTube. I can't even tell you how much time I've spent.
Yeah, Candace, I actually have a training that's going to be coming up at the first part of the year that's going to be talking about how to take your app and use it to help you build a YouTube channel so that you build subscribers on your YouTube channel along with the connection to the app. An app with a YouTube channel has massive potential. So we every month we do a training that is usually like a 3-day training. You know, one month we did it on how to create a membership program. Another was on how to build an affiliate program and how to create e-courses. So every month of the year we do a multi-day training course, digital course done through Zoom that you all get access to so that you can learn how to do different things with your app.
Awesome. Thank you. That's great.
You're welcome.
Hi, this is Dwayne. I have a quick question.
Yeah,
I'm in real estate with both the selling as well as property management, and I see the advantage of doing this. My question, and I think I know the answer, but I just want you to clarify it. With money spent on trying to promote your website with the key SEO and the technicalities I don't want to mess up or butcher, but is it safe to say that this can be in place of, or would this be in combination to what we already have in place?
Well, my personal approach is it's in place of, because
good answer. Good answer.
Yeah, because it's and Dwayne, you and I need to have a conversation, dude, because what this app can do for a real estate agent would blow your mind. And I'm really, really looking for a real estate agent that I can work with to create a killer app. Because
well, you don't have,
like for
you don't have to look any further. I said
good.
You don't have to look any further.
I definitely wanted let's make sure we have a conversation here soon. But yes, for me it would be in place of, because there are things that you can do with the app that will be like 10 times, 50 times, 100 times more effective than spending all this time to try to SEO optimize and do all this other stuff that just brings in a trickle of traffic to your website. Which, by the way, the traffic comes to your website, but that doesn't mean that they're engaging with you and you're capturing them. Whereas if you use these other strategies to get people to download your app, they are joining your list. You are able to engage with them at 200% better than the other ways.
Sorry, you broke up. As you know, I'm traveling with the mountains, but we'll definitely speak and connect.
Okay, good. I'm gonna connect with Peter today, get your information, and then we'll set something up here soon.
Awesome.
Yeah,
thank you.
Looking forward to that. Does anybody else have any questions?
Me too. Thanks.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Thank you.
So if you would like to have a one-on-one conversation with me to where I can actually give you specific ideas, then I'm going to put into the actual chat here my email address. If you gave me your email, I'll also reach out to you and send you some information. But this is my email address. If you email me and let me know, hey, I want to have a conversation with you to talk about my business, then we'll set up a time and we'll do that. We'll do that soon. The main thing that I want to say about that is that this app has the capability of doing so many different, very unique things. And some things, like for Dwayne's case, perfect for Dwayne, because a real estate agent, the way he can use the tagging for buyers, sellers, property management is incredible. The way he could use the app and the track a book feature to generate traffic and interest and farm an area or whatever that they do, that a real estate agent does to generate business and interest is incredible. Another idea for Dwayne is that he could use the app to provide a directory of local services. This is where you go turn your power on. This is where you go get your trash. This is, recommended local restaurant that you can go to. Even have local businesses pay Dwayne a advertising fee to have their business listed in there to all the people that are coming into that area. Lots and lots of ways of monetizing the app in unique ways. Brett's not here now, but Brett, for Brett's work in suicide prevention, is and working with people that have those challenges, it's an incredible resource because it puts information, inspiration, and support at people's fingertips. And it also pulls them out of that insane, crazy world of social media where people have their heads in all the time. That's causing a lot of these problems, like he was saying. So, and it keeps it within his world. So it's different for everybody. So I want to make sure that, even if you can't afford it right now, or if it's not in your budget, have a conversation with me, because there is ways that we can figure out to make this work, whether it's late now or later. And I want to make sure that you understand the specific application to your business, to your message and information. Cool. Any questions?
Hey, Robert, Pete again.
Yes.
Hi. Talking about Brett, I actually connected him with Jackie Simmons because she's going to be doing her virtual summit in December, and they're both in the same area. So, I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, so Brett will actually see how that summit will be run through an app, because that's what we're going to be doing with Jackie. Cool. All right. Well, I've kept your time. I kept you long enough. For those of you that are in the United States, Wednesday before Thanksgiving feels like a holiday, so I don't want to take up too much of your holiday time here. For all of your Canadians, I'm sorry it's not a holiday for you this week, but you had your Thanksgiving, right? So let me know if you have any questions. I got everybody's information saved here. I will send you some information once I get off the call here. But thank you so much for your time today and hanging out here with me. Hopefully we get a chance to talk and work together at some point here soon.
Great. And Robert, I'm good. I'm sorry. Sorry, Donna.
I was just saying thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Donna. Hopefully talk to you soon.
And Robert, I'm going to be